So there is a U.S. soccer player named Carli Lloyd who has, for the past, I think maybe year or two, really tried to push that she could kick in the NFL, National Football League. But today we have a fantastic article coming to us from the Pluralist. U.S. women's soccer captain says teen boys are physically superior to grown women. That's science. Written strictly by the Pluralist, which I'm pretty sure is on the right, but either ways, they're carrying the story, so let's get into it. Amid an ongoing gender pay discrimination lawsuit, one of the top players on the U.S. women's national team conceded that she and her teammates are physically outmatched by teen boys. Yes. Team captain Carli Lloyd made the remarks Wednesday following the USWNT's 3-1 victory over Japan in Frisco, Texas, The Guardian reported. So, there was this Super Bowl commercial that featured her where the little boy was running through town and she kicked the ball to him, and she's just so adamant that she can go out and be an NFL kicker. But at the same time, even she recognizes the biological differences between the male and female production and how at not even grown, like 13, 14 years old, a male is far physically superior to a female. And I believe that one of the that this was found out in deposition, and one of the heads of the U.S. team, or like one of the soccer federations, had to step down because he said the exact same thing, but he said it and he has a penis and all, so we got to take it seriously when it comes out of the mouth that happens to have a vagina attached to it. It's interesting because I train with the U18 boys at home, and I have said that I'm more skillful than all of those boys there put together, but they are bigger, stronger, and faster. That's just the way they are born. As they get older, we can't just compete with that. That's science, Lloyd said, responding to reports of a controversial statement from the U.S. Soccer Federation. That's what I was talking about. Okay, so yeah, it does fold in here. The U.S. Soccer Federation, defending itself against a gender discrimination case filed by members of the U.S. women's national team, argued that playing for the men's national team is tougher than playing for the women's national team. Naturally, it is. In court filings for the equal pay lawsuit scheduled to commence May 5th, the Federation asserted, as reported by Tuesday by multiple media outlets, the job of a men's national team player carries more responsibility within U.S. soccer than the job of a women's national team player. There you go. The overall soccer and here's the thing. Okay, before I go any further, what most people will do is they'll sit there and say, okay, they're both soccer players, so they should be paid the same. It's different. It's completely different. What is required of one isn't required of the other. Like, look at the NBA and the WNBA, right? The NBA plays longer seasons, whereas the WNBA plays, relatively short seasons. And they still was complaining. Golly, they still complain that their season is too long. It's ridiculous. I think their season's like 32 games. I'm not sure. The WNBA is terrible. The overall soccer playing ability required to compete at a senior men's national team level is materially influenced by the level of certain physical attributes, such as speed and strength required for the job, the Federation added. Many of the U.S. women, including Lloyd, took issue with the Federation's statement. Okay, so she's about to contradict the hell out of herself, because you can be as skilled as you want. If you're overpowered, you're overpowered. Like, I'll put it to you like this: you can hit a target 100 times out of 100 with a bow and arrow, right? But if somebody roll up with a gun, with a Uzi, and just start spraying bullets, it's far more effective. But from a skill point, I'm better than every single number of those boys, Lloyd said on Wednesday, in reference to the male teenagers she trains with regularly. But guess what? It ain't about your skills matter for nothing if you are outmatched. I'm sorry, that's just how it goes. Okay, let's take it to boxing. There's a reason why we have divisions in boxing, why the featherweights aren't going to sit there and fight against the heavyweights, because guess what? The heavyweights can just overpower them. That's how that rocks. If you put more speed and strength in me then there is no doubt that I would be able to fully compete. For me, as somebody who is nearly 38, I'm giving those boys a run for their money. Yeah, but you're not going to beat them. I think wasn't it one of those other professional teams that went out there and played a few matches and like lost every single one against a teenage boys team? And you know what? You could take all the hormones and all the steroids and everything else like that all the weird experiments that they're doing with young ladies these days to try and oh yeah, boys and girls are the same thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're still going to be outmatched because that's just not how God made us. All right, I mean, deal. I know atheism is a big thing, and I've actually been questioned because I do Atheism is Unstoppable videos about my faith, and but I do believe in a God. I do believe a God exists. I believe there's a difference between God and religion, and God's a creator, and he came up with the grand design, and thusly that design operates and works very well to a point where even if you are paid less than the men, you're still paid far more than the average American. So how about you be appreciative of that? But no, it can never be enough, right? In the aftermath of the controversy over the U.S. Soccer Federation's legal filing, the organization's president, Carlos Cordeiro, resigned on Thursday, which is bull. Carlos Cordeiro did nothing wrong, all right? My one and only mission has always been to do what's best for our federation, and it has become clear to me that what is best right now is a new direction, he said in a statement. The arguments in language continued in this week's legal filing caused great offense and pain, especially to our extraordinary, oh my God, see, and this all this is simping. This is simping, guys. Stepping down for acknowledging the truth of the matter. Well, I'm so skillful. Who gives a shit? I don't care about your skills. If you can be overpowered, if you could be overmatched. I mean, freaking what's the name? Everybody in the NBA, particularly during the 90s, during Jordan era, was skilled. They got hella skills, but do you got that gunner? No, you ain't got that gunner. So how about you chill, relax, appreciate where you're at, appreciate what you've been able to accomplish. But no, we will pay discrimination. Miss me, bruh. The USWNT suffered a blowout loss in 2017 to a FC Dallas club team whose players were aged 14 and 15. The final score was 5-2. Yeah, I think that might have been the one that I was talking about. Because I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm sorry. I'll put it to you like this. Who can you say? I think Steph Curry is more of a skilled dribbler than LeBron James. I mean, Steph Curry got hella handles, right? I think far more handles than LeBron, but LeBron still gonna come through that lane like a truck, right? I mean, so thusly, it's like, yeah, you can have all the skill you want, but when you're outmatched, you're outmatched. And plus, I'm pretty sure with the scheduling and the way that things operate, the differences between the male and female game, all this pay gap and pay discrimination stuff is nothing more than a smoke screen. And Miss Lloyd here you're sitting here admitting that you're outmatched, but you're like, oh well, but that shouldn't matter. But it does. It does, because that makes the male game far more exciting and far more watchable than the female game, which we only care about once every 4 years, darling. Make no mistake about it. And that's not really because of your game. It's because that you're wearing the American flag behind you. Make no mistake. Most of that, I want to say like 70% of all that hoopla and rah-rah comes from the American media. And as we've discovered this week, the American media can push whatever narrative it wants, and it will more than likely gain traction because most people, we lean on the media instead of thinking for ourselves. But anyways, guys, that being said, we're going to bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and BitChute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications to speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Carli Lloyd's from Jersey, man. I'm telling y'all, every terrible thing comes from New Jersey. I genuinely believe it. And recognizing that there's such a discrepancy between you and teenage boys, why would you sit here and talk about how you want to kick in the NFL? It makes no sense to me, but it might make sense to you. That's what I have a channel for. That's what I have a comment section for. So by all means, let me know what you guys think, and until the next one.